network should I be using? My short answer, I'm gonna kick off. My short answer is it depends entirely on what you're trying to sell, what kind of value you're trying to bring to people. As a general rule of thumb, if you're selling products, your Instagram is your best bet. If you're looking for B2B clients, LinkedIn is your best bet. And obviously, all other platforms come into play as well. But those for me would be the heavyweights on both ends.
Welcome back to another video. This week we're going to be doing another Q&A. So this week we're talking about social media. In the past few weeks we've been doing content marketing and SEO. So this week we're talking about social media marketing. So Dennis, do you want to dive right in?
Yeah, sure. So again, thank you to all the lovely people that sent those in. So again, we've got some questions here that people sort of want answered. So first one, I'm going to dive in. What social media network is best for my company? We get this one so many times. What social network should I be using? My short answer, I'm gonna kick off. My short answer is it depends entirely on what you're trying to sell, what kind of value you're trying to bring to people. Quickly, if you're B2B, if you're selling to businesses, you'll most likely need to be on LinkedIn. You definitely need to be on LinkedIn, potentially Twitter, Instagram just for the authority, and Facebook. Facebook for B2B doesn't really work very well, but what you can do with B2B Facebook is target ads at specific sort of high level personnel within the businesses that you want to target. So that's a thing. Whereas B2C, if you're selling products to consumers, like e-commerce store or things like that, Instagram all day long, Facebook all day long, Facebook advertising and organic, Instagram stories, Instagram story ads, Instagram native content, all of that stuff. LinkedIn less so. And then Twitter. I mean, Twitter's a bit of a ads on for everything, I feel, these days, but I think that's a whole other podcast.
I mean, it'd be quite interesting to find out people's thoughts on Twitter and stuff. And if anyone gets any leads off Twitter, then let us know, because that's quite interesting.
Let us know, we'll hire you.
So yeah, just a thing that I always say to people is, some people come to us, don't they, and they say that we want social media, so they want social media, but in fact, like, they don't always they want it, they don't actually need it. So sometimes it's not even a case of choosing what network, it's like what actual channel. But as Dennis said, B2B, using LinkedIn is probably the best. But again, it just depends on the content. You can do B2B lead generation, can't you, on Instagram, for example.
You can,
sending DMs out, but again, it depends on the company size and things like that. If you're a local business looking to, to work with other local businesses, then you can. But it's for us, it's just like a more a manual process, isn't it?
It is definitely a more manual process. I mean, there's a big difference in all platforms between organic and paid, purely because of the limitations you have of organic and the amount of manual time you have to put in to target the right people. Whereas with paid, you can target a mass amount of people in your exact target market with 3 button clicks. So that's the main difference. But yeah, as a general rule of thumb, if you're selling products, your Instagram is your best bet. If you're looking for B2B clients, LinkedIn is your best bet. And obviously, all other platforms come into play as well. But those for me would be the heavyweights on both ends.
Again, like, if someone came to us and said, I want to sell, it just depends on the product as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if someone came to us and said, I want to sell recruitment services for Instagram, we're probably going to be like, okay, I mean, cool, but that's probably not going to be the main primary source of leads that we're going to generate.
I'd say choosing the channel is the right thing, I think. So, podcasts, that's good for lead generation, and YouTube, things like that. Choosing the right channel is best first and foremost, but then depending on your product, depending on your service, it's important to choose the right social network. The next question is, if I only have time for Twitter or Facebook, which should I use?
If you only have time for Twitter or Facebook, you should use Hootsuite. Write one piece of content and schedule it for both platforms. I think that's a good hack, isn't it? End of answer. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, yeah, no. That's sort of a half answer for it, because it doesn't always. I mean, Hootsuite these days has gotten better to natively post to Twitter and Facebook. So
Hootsuite's getting a lot better actually. With you can actually do a lot of photo editing, quite actually.
yeah, Hootsuite's become a bit more of a sort of content management platform as opposed to just a scheduling platform.
Yeah.
But from what just briefly, what you can do on Hootsuite is literally just open an account, connect your Twitter, your Facebook, write one piece of content, and schedule pieces of content to go out at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday and another one 5 p.m. on a Wednesday. And you can do it at the start of the week and watch it just roll in automatically throughout the week or 2 weeks, and you don't actually have to touch it ever again. So to answer in the context of this question, you can just write one piece of content and schedule it automatically to Twitter and Facebook at the same time. So you're halving your time essentially.
Yeah.
But the proper answer is probably spend a bit more time and do natively both if you can. But if you're really struggling for time, Hootsuite is a really good tool.
So yeah, then the next question is probably the biggest question that everyone probably wants to know. How do you get more people to pay attention to the social media posts? I want to start that off. You basically just got to write the right content for the right person. You've got to know your audience. You've got to know what appeals to them, and then you've got to write really good copy, get good images. If you can,
imagery is more important than people think.
Video, you just because people's attention spans are so short, and people flicking on and off social media all the time. So you need to have something that informs, scares, educates, triggers some sort of emotion when they're scrolling on timeline. If you don't do that within 3 seconds, then you're going to lose.
The most viewed thing on Facebook is funny 15-second videos.
Yeah.
And people will literally just sit there and scroll. Facebook have gotten clever at the fact that you don't even have to move your thumb when it's over. When the video is about to be over, it will scroll you down to the next one. And as long as your content is, I mean, if I'm looking for funny and I find funny, I'm going to carry on watching funny. If I'm looking for inspirational and I find inspirational, I'm going to carry on reading inspiration. So it's just knowing your audience and putting out the right content that they want to see. Yeah. And obviously tying in things like a bit of, I don't want to use the word clickbait. What's the white hat version of the word clickbait? Enticing. Yeah, enticing. So letting people know that you will be back with more soon, or there's something potentially that they could miss out on if they don't watch this or read this or whatnot. So there's plenty of sort of tiny little strategies that you can put in place. But first and foremost, give people value. There's no good out of a post of just your product saying buy this, $19.99 reduced to $15.99 this weekend only. So that's a one-time thing. People aren't going to find any value in it. But whereas actually, if you're actually sharing some value and actually connecting with people on the personal level, and like Matt said, instilling some sort of emotion, you're going to do much better with how people react to your content.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to use paid. I mean, paid is the quickest way to obviously amplify the content, and the organic reach for Facebook is not very high anymore. So more so you've just got to create great content and then put some money into ads. Ads. If you're starting out, you kind of an adophobe.
Adophobe.
Scared of Facebook.
Sounds like a font.
Doesn't it? But yeah, if you're scared of using ads for the first time, it's not expensive. It's £5 or £10 a day. Test the water. See the results you get. But my advice is when you're first starting out, just do it properly, because we talk to clients and. We ask about ad budgets, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I put some money into it." And then, how much money did you put into it? About £100 over 3 months. No, you're not going to get any sort of worthwhile results over £100 over 3 months.
No, and that's what scares people off a lot of times, because they try something with a small budget or with a company that doesn't really get very good results, and then one guy ruins it for all sort of thing, and then they get scared of it. So. Yeah, it's a tricky one to advise people to sort of go out, test the water sort of thing, because chances are if you test the waters but you're not actually open-minded in terms of what results you can get if you spend a lot of money, if you put a bigger investment in and hire the right people, if you do it on the cheap, sort of yourself, without the proper expertise, you run the chance of getting sort of cold feet when it comes to doing it again, because you haven't seen results before and you don't trust the process that this time it will be different, and that's understandable. It's the same with everything. Just do a lot of research would be my advice, and when it comes to ads, do talk to someone that knows what they're doing, because chances are if you're boosting posts yourself and you're not getting the right results, you're just going to get put off it forever. And the fact of the matter is, there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot of good results that can come if you're doing it properly.
Yeah, and if you tried Facebook ads yourself, it doesn't work. And then you go to an agency, and then that doesn't work, and then you go to another agency, and then they advise you something else. That's what a good agency does, doesn't it? So, if Facebook ads, at the end of the day, it might not work for your business, but a good agency will tell you what needs to
What's
be right for
going
your
wrong,
business.
yeah.
So, if Facebook works for your business, it will. If not, but you do have to try, and you can't just put
You can't put a fiver in and expect to see the world,
Exactly, yeah. And same with just marketing in general. The more you put in, the more you get out. So.
Cool. Okay. Well, if you guys have any more questions, fire them over. We're always here to answer some more stuff for you, and we'll be in touch.